Hello and welcome to my unboxing and reboxing of Circadians Chaos Order. Circadians Chaos Order is a very asymmetric game, and it is for 2 to 5 players with 6 factions available. When we lift the lid, the first thing we have here is our rule book. The rule book is large. It's the same size as the whole box, and it is a 24-page rule book with lots of detail and lots of examples, along with a lot of illustration. So we do have some assembly to do. There are tuck boxes, and it tells you, okay, so there's a lid and a base, and it tells you what components go in each box. There's one for each of the asymmetric factions. So there's a total of 6 boxes here to assemble. You go ahead and do that. So for this assembly, is to fold one side at a time so that the small tabs fold over themselves on the inside corners. And the triangular sections should tuck under the longer sides of the box. Okay, so we're going to fold in the smaller edges and fold all the way down and around here. And then as we fold this other section, we're going to push on these triangles so that we can fold this up and over. Looks like this little piece stays out. Okay. So then we fold like this. And by pushing those in at the same time, it allows us to push down like this so that the tuck box goes like this. So we'll push in on these at the same time as we are folding this side up. So it goes like this, but then we can fold in and sort of lock it into place there a little bit. Not really, sort of. You can sort of lock it into place. So the finished box looks sort of like this for the bottom. Then we have a top, which gets folded the same way. The short sides folding first, and then these pieces folding in. The circle on these, the little cutout pops out as we start folding it. Not the easiest job, but it does work. Once you get it, it seems like it's going to stay, and does it? And it seems like it is going to actually close nicely and open nicely. So now we just have 5 more to make. Okay, so now we have all of our boxes prepared here. Next in the box, we have our 6 faction rule sheets. So each faction has their own rule sheet, which looks like this and has their own setup rules and what they need to have around and how their faction is different here on these 6 boards. So again, our factions have these names here. And these are all different because these are asymmetric factions. They've all got different information. That's why it's not in the main rule book. Next, we have punch boards here and the game board. On our punch boards, we have our first punch boards are faction-specific components for the most part. For our Oxataya, we have our faction board here, which is in the middle. And then we have over here. Okay, so the list should be on the back of this. Okay. So we have 8 pricing tokens. Those pricing tokens look like this on the one side, and they look like this on the other side. We should have 4 leader standees. And that's what these are here. These 4 right here are going to be the leader standees. And on the back, those 4 look like this. The back of the player mat looks like this. And then we also have one troop token. It looks like this and like that on the back. We have one base tile, this. That base tile is not going to go in our component box, but we do have one base tile. Up here, we have 2 starting foundations and 5 board foundations, along with 1 neutral foundation, which we can see here on the back. We have the 2 starting foundations as well as the 5 board foundations and then the neutral tile. We also have one of the 6 production tokens that looks like a gear here, and on the back it looks like this. That's for this board. On this next board, this is for the Larian. We have this faction board. It looks like this on the back. We have the 2 starting foundations and the 5 board foundations, plus one of the neutral foundations. We have the 4 leader standees here. They look like this on the other side. And we have our 8 pricing tokens here. They look like this on the back. We have our 1 troop token down here at the bottom, like that on the back. And this is our base tile. And we have 1 more of our production tokens that is not a faction specific one here. I'm going to go ahead and punch these as I go so I can keep track of what I have looked at here. So for purple, we specifically need these pricing tokens. Actually, just so that I can keep track, I'm going to keep it flipped. I'm going to put these items in the lid and then I'll dump them. Got the faction board. The pricing tokens all go in here. They're faction specific. The troop token goes in here. It's faction specific. This is a faction specific tile, but it doesn't fit in the box. This is a neutral item. It's going to go on the table for now. And we have our leader standees are going to go in here. Our neutral tile is going to go down here, and the rest of these are going in the box. Now the same for our green box here. Our neutral tiles are just this gear shape and this 1 foundation. Everything else is faction specific. We have a board and a tile. We have our group token, our 8 pricing tiles, our 4 standees, and our 2 starting foundations and 5 board foundations here. Next, very similarly, we have, this is for Caro. The faction board looks like this, and the back side looks like this. And down here we have 8 pricing tokens. They look like this. And on the other side, they look like this. This is our troop token. This is our production token. Look like that on the front. And there's our base tile, as well as our 4 leader standees here. And here we have 1 neutral foundation and our 5 building foundations and 2 starting foundations here. Next, we have the faction board for Jeriach. It looks like this on the one side, and it looks like this on the other. Again, we have 1 neutral foundation, 2 starting foundations, and 5 board foundations here, along with our leader standees. They look like this on the other side. We have a base tile. We have 1 of our production tokens, which is not faction specific. We have our troop token, looks like 5 on one side, 10 on the other. And our 8 pricing tiles look like this and like this. Next, we have our AI. Looks like this on the back and like this on the front. Like the others, we have 8 pricing tiles. We have a base tile, we have a troop token, we have a production token. We only have 3 leaders for this one. We have 1 neutral foundation, 2 starter foundations, and 5 board foundations. So those look like this. And last, we have our Circadians. The Circadians board looks like this, and on the other side, it looks like this. Again, we have 1 neutral foundation, 2 starting foundations, and 5 board foundations here, and only 3 leaders. They look like this on the other side. We have a base tile, we have a production token, we have our troop token, which look like this on the other side. These are the back of our pricing tiles. And here's the front of those tiles. Now, we still have more punch boards here. On this punch board, we do have the part of the combat wheel, both parts of the combat wheel. So this and this are part of the combat wheel, and they get assembled. Like this on the one side, and they're both gray on the back. We have some of our land tiles here. There should be 3 gold, 3 blue, and 3 red backed. On this board, we have 2 of the blues, a red, and a gold. So they look like that on the back, but on the front, they look like this. There's supposed to be 9 total neutral foundations. There's 2 more right here and right here on this board. That's this and this. On the back, they look the same here and here as the other ones that we have already punched out from the other boards. These things are falling out, so I'm going to get the pieces that we've already talked about punched. There are 4 neutral pricing tokens. 2 of them are up here in the corner. There's 1 flare gun, one of the neutral components. It's right here, like that on the back. And I don't see the rest of these on the neutral. So let me see if these are faction specific or not. So Zacharo has the so-called breakthrough tile, and that's this up here. So this belongs to this faction. This is a Zacharo faction. It also matches in color. So if we hold this up to this, you can see it's the same color. And it is on the list on the back, breakthrough tile. So so Jariac, which is this, has these 2 here are tiles that are Raizu standees or tokens, and tokens. So I guess these are the tokens. There's 1 here and 1 here that belong to this faction, and the back looks like this. So these 2 go in their box for that faction. Okay, these are morale tokens for Larian. So this Larian faction has 8 of these morale tokens. They look like this on one side, and they look like this on the other. And there's 4 here and 4 on this next punch board here. These go to Larian. Okay, and these are the AI trap tokens. There's 3 total. 2 are on this punch board and 1 is on the next punch board. They look like this on the back. They go to the AI faction. So on our last punch board, we have the other 3 Larian morale tokens. And we have another 1 of those trap tokens for the AI. We have another one of these Raizu cards for the Jiraiya faction. We have our last neutral foundation token. We have our last two neutral pricing tokens up here in the corner. They look like this. We have our other combat wheel to assemble. Looks like this. And then here we have our other land tiles, 2 red, 1 blue, and 1 gold. There were 4 land tiles on the other. The tile that came with the Circadians also had a gold back. So it's one of our main land tiles. So it's the other gold one for our main land tiles. And all the other factions have a base tile except for the Circadians. Okay. So now we have our 3 land tiles of each back. And the other part for our board. Okay, and that's this punch board. So now we're done with our punch boards. We have a game board here. We'll look at it in a minute. We have a tray here with a bunch of other components in it. So it looks like our hexes are all going to go down in here. So I am going to put them down in here to get them out of the way. And then I'm going to put the faction-specific ones on top of those. Let's see what else we have down in here. Okay, so we do have our plastic rivets to assemble these spinner boards. These are the combat wheels to assemble. These never get unassembled. They are attached once. So the way that they go is both sides up, joining through this circle. So it will spin like this, where you can see everything on one side and the other side stays totally gray. The circle goes behind the more rectangular one, as shown in the rules. So now we have our wheels. They're both identical, and we can spin them pretty easily. Other components that we have down in here, each has their own component. Looks like we have maybe 2 bags per color for the player colors. For the AI is this gray color. We should have 20 fighters. And those fighters look like this. The fighters look like this, sort of like a little person figure. The AI has 30 of these fighters. They have 1 fame marker. The fame marker looks like this. It's a slightly squished square, but it's not, I don't know what shape that's called. There are 5 research markers. The research markers are simply small cubes. We have 3 foundries, 3 outposts, and 3 strongholds. They do look like small to large versions of each other. They look like this. And the AI gets 3 of each of these. And so looking at the box, we have put everything in here. Next, looking at Zakaro, they should have 20 fighters. Again, the fighters are the same shape as the gray ones. We should also have other pieces here. There should be 5, we've got 5 cube research markers. We have our fame token. We have a different, for the foundries, outposts, and strongholds, we have a different breakdown. We have, for this one, we have 3 foundries, which is the little one. We have 4 outposts, which is the mid-size, and we have 2 strongholds, which is the big one. Very handy to have the list on the box so that I know I'm not crazy. Next, for the Larian, the green ones, we're supposed to have 3 foundries, 3 outposts, and 3 strongholds, which we do here. 5 research tokens, and 1 fame marker. We should have 20 fighters. For the Circadians, we should have, again, 3 of each, 3 foundries, 3 outposts, 3 strongholds. And we do. And we also have 5 research markers and our 1 fame marker. Then we only have 10 fighters, but our fighters, which look like this, like the others, we also have 1 drop ship, which looks like a large ship. And the size is different. So the Circadian fighters compared to the other Civ, you see they're differently sized here. Then for our Jiraiya here, we should have 3 foundries, 3 outposts, and 3 strongholds, which we do. And our 3 strongholds, 3 outposts, and 3 foundries. We have our 1 fame marker and our 5 research markers. And the fighters here are smaller again. We have the 20 fighters. And then purple, this Oxataya. We should also have 3 foundries, 3 outposts, 3 strongholds. They're a little stuck together, the purple ones, but we do have them. 3 strongholds, 3 outposts, 3 foundries, 5 research markers, and 1 fame marker. And then we should have 20 fighters, and these are again the smaller fighters. Fighters look like this. Next in the box, we have 6 relics. These relics all look the same, but they are numbered from 1 to 6. They look like this. They're quite large. And I think they're hollow. I'm not sure. So they are numbered from 1 to 6. We should have 50 energy that look like lightning bolts. There should be 40 small and 10 large. Small ones and large ones. There should be 30 gems, which are red. The gems look like this. And we have 10 mountains that look like this. We also have 2 dice, and those dice look like this. So they are identical to each other, and they are a D6 that has 2, 3, 2, 3. And on the ends, we have a 4, and we have a 1 with a shield looking thing. And then we have 2 decks of cards here. We also have the standee bases for all those standees. So I'm gonna have to go back through for those. The first deck of cards is we should have tactics cards, and also we should have leader cards for our factions. I think these are our leader cards. For tactics, they all have this back, and they look like this. The leader cards, so the cards are supposed to go in the boxes with the factions. So let's see. Should have 3 leader cards for green, and that's these. They look like this on the other side. You should have 4 for purple. They look like this, and like this on the other side. Here's our 3 for our aqua color. They look like this and like this on the other side. We should have 3 leader cards and 3 Raizu cards for red. Have these and we have these for red. They look like this on the back. For the Circadians, we have 3. They look like this and they look like this on the back. And for the AI, we have 3. They look like this on the one side and like this on the other. Okay, then we have some small cards here. And our small cards, like we have Intel cards. There should be 5 Intel cards for yellow for the Circadians. So all 5 of these, they have the colors of the other 5 factions, but they are Intel cards. They belong to the Circadians, and they look like this on the other side. And then we have attribute cards. These are for green. These are for the aqua. 4 for the Circadians. 3 for red. 3 for the AI. And 3 for purple. So now we're ready to finish reboxing here, and I'm a little bit unclear whether I've got everything I should have. So we'll go through our boxes. So we have 4 attribute cards and 5 intel cards. There should be 3 leader cards. We did that. And 3 leader standees in here. Going from the back up. Yes, everything has been in here except the standees do need their bases. So I'm going to put all of these into the bottom. And then I'm going to put bases on the standees. Yes, 3 standees. Okay, so now we can close the Circadians box if they would stay in. So I just have 4 of these where I'm supposed to have 6 because I'm supposed to have 3 of the Raizus and 3 of the Dryad leaders. 3 leaders and 3 of the Raiju things. And the thing is that if this is what the Raiju person looks like this, then I saw one of those in here and it wasn't colored like the blue faction. So he should go in with the red faction. But then I only saw one of those. So I'm a little confused about what I'm getting at here. Was hiding in there the whole time. Okay. So I do have the 3 that belong in here. Okay, so all of these boxes are done and in good shape. It's a tight fit, but it's the only way they're all going to fit. Okay. We have our mountains and our power things. I'm thinking that maybe our relics go down here because that's the way to make room for them. Okay, and then these all fit in this box nicely. These 2 are just gonna have to go on top here somewhere, maybe down here. And then we have these pieces that are left. We have our little gun. We have our 4 neutral tiles and our 8 neutral foundation tiles and these production tokens. So I have a bunch of bags left because we unbagged all of those little components. So I'm going to reuse those bags for these pieces all separately because I've got so many bags. There's no reason why not. but I will put the gun in separate just because bagging one item feels silly. Okay, so then we can put our faction rules in and our rule book. And we can, oops, I missed one of our neutral squares. Now we can open up and take a look at this game board here. And here is what our game board looks like. This is a full view of our game board. It is single-sided, the other side is black. We have our faction mats here. There's no extra place for these to really sit down in here. Okay, doesn't seem to matter. We do have dice. I did not put them back in. Okay, everything else is just empty bag. The board and all these faction rules and boards and our rules. And we have unboxed and reboxed Circadians Chaos Order. If this was helpful to you at all, if you would give us a like and a subscribe and come back for more videos. Thanks.